Hello, welcome to my channel, Isle of Avalon. Today I will be doing a collective reading, and we're just going to go ahead and get right to it and see what comes through. If you are new or returning, welcome. I'm very grateful to have you. And of course, if you found this video, you are definitely meant to. Okay, this is definitely going to be a little bit of a longer one. So there are a lot of other people involved in this situation, and it seems that you are working towards climbing your way out of something a little messy. Whether that is a work, love, any kind of social situation. Maybe you are part of a friend group or a work group. Maybe you've committed to a family thing. That it's not necessarily for you, and you're starting to realize that. I do sense that you are very you're very compelled right now to use your own wits and your own discernment, instead of listening to other people right now, because you're starting to realize that it's their opinions and their ideas aren't necessarily what's best for you, and you're starting to see that you taking your action in your own way for your own benefit, is actually taking you to where you want to be and to having your own fulfillment, your own cups filled, right? Sometimes when you pour into other people or another person too much, you can end up in a Nine of Swords energy where they are where they're throwing a lot of their ideas and opinions at you, and it can be painful, especially when you know that it's more in their best interest and not yours. And a lot of the time, people they don't always have like ill intentions and stuff. I don't see any of that here, but it's a conflicting. There is there are conflicting ideas, conflicting goals and behaviors with you and these other people, this other person or this other group, and you're starting to see that it's time for you to go somewhere else. It's time for you to take your cups, your ideas, your emotions, and just take yourself to somewhere better for you. And I also see that what's meant to follow you or come with you will. And it may seem a little difficult to do, especially because you're just starting out. But I do see that you moving away from the situation that may be troubling you, because I do see a little bit of uh, discord here. There's quite a bit of discord here in your life, in whatever this group situation is, whatever it is with you and these other people. It could be a working situation. Um, Maybe your things aren't going well at your job. Maybe there's a lot of disagreements in your friend group or your family group or in your relationship. Although I'm not really getting more of a love vibe, this is more you and other people. There are multiple people involved in this. Um, you're starting to see, though, that being fearless is actually getting you somewhere. Standing on your own 2 feet, using your own willpower. There's a lot of willpower here, and you're starting to see that keeping things to yourself and staying to yourself and doing what fills your cup um, is actually helping things to fall into place and bring more structure to your outside world. And the more that you do that, the happier you will be. I do see that in a career, for a career, you may be thinking about changing something, maybe the way that you do your work, maybe who you share things with, who you work with. Maybe you might be thinking about changing jobs. There are steps to doing that. I don't see that you already know this. You're not rushing to change things, but you know that you need to take action towards doing that. Because it's what's best for you, and you're starting to see that what's best for you is what's best for you, and you do know better. You're actually seeing those improvements starting to happen in your life. So if you need some confirmation on whether you're doing the right thing, you definitely are. Even if you have a little bit of resistance or you come across obstacles, those obstacles are meant for you to face. They're meant for you to overcome so that you can go to greener pastures, right? Um, the path to success isn't always perfect. There are always some potholes. There's always some hills to climb, some mountains to climb, some rivers to cross, right? And that's part of the journey. It's part of any journey that you take. Um, but you got to trust yourself, and you know that. You already know that. I do see triumph here. You got the sun in your career, and that's definitely for. There's a lot of action and forward movement, and I do see you taking action towards what you actually want to achieve, and if you know, as long as you're doing so with integrity and you're not being greedy, right? And I'm speaking to a group of people who definitely know you have to let things flow, and by trying to hoard resources, hoard your energy to an extent that you're actually lashing out at people is not the way to go. You're a very giving and generous person, you really just need to find the right people to be generous to. And maybe sometimes in the past you have overgiven to people who may not have deserved it. Because I do see a little bit of betrayal, especially in your love life. Maybe you have gotten with people who weren't necessarily the best for you, and it doesn't always have to be a love life situation, because you could. Um, you could be married or have a good relationship and stuff like that. Maybe sometimes you felt left in this Nine of Swords energy, but it's definitely you have definitely been you have given a lot to people, and they may not have necessarily received it well or appreciated it. um, and uh, and you've been left feeling empty. from doing that. You've given so much to people, and they have just kind of taken and not really given much back, and it's left you feeling a little empty. But you are capable, and you know this now, you're capable of filling your own cup. But the thing about people who are capable of filling their own cup, that it does overflow, and you don't like to waste away yourself, your energy, your time, your resources, even on yourself. You want to share. You want to share it with people, because that's part of being someone who can fill their own cup. You aren't blessed with the mastery skills, the self mastery skills. The manifestation skills and all of that. You're not blessed with those things to hoard them to yourself, and you know that you're meant to give. You're meant to share your light with others, and don't get discouraged from doing so just because maybe people haven't received it well, or they haven't understood you. Because what will happen is, the more you continue to believe in yourself and stand in your truth and your authenticity and your power, right? The more you will come into away from people who aren't at the space at this time to be open to receiving the knowledge and the wisdom and the fulfillment that you have to offer to the world. And the more that you stand in your authenticity, in your truth, the more people will come to you who are actually capable of receiving you well, who are capable of understanding you. And you know, the more that you continue to, protect your energy, protect yourself, and worry about yourself a little more than rather than giving too much to others, um, you will you will rule your empire. You will be the star of your show, and you already are. It's not that you aren't, but um, when you're a giving person, you want everyone else to be that way too. You really do. You want everyone to be the star of their show. You want everyone to feel good about themselves. You want everyone to learn how to fill their own cup if they don't know how. But sometimes people just aren't at a place yet. They haven't learned the lessons that they need to in order to do that for themselves. And what happens is they become a taker in your life. And that doesn't mean that anything's wrong with them or they're bad, but sometimes you have to let people fall. You can't always fill them up. You can't always give to them too much, because they're not going to learn what they need to do it for themselves. The saying comes to my mind: if you teach a man to fish, he will be full for life. If you give him a fish, he'll be full for a day, right? So it's about teaching people, and letting them learn their lessons, and letting them learn what they need to, so that they don't need you, because you don't want to create a codependent situation with others. And definitely, you're on the verge of breaking away from being that way with people, but it's a little cloudy right now. It's a little foggy, and you know that you're on the right track, but you definitely need some confirmation. But you are on your way to getting where you want to be. So definitely stand true, hold true to yourself, and there is assistance coming towards you for you to achieve these goals, for you to fill your own cups and be fulfilled. So just trust. And if you haven't watched the video that I just posted, I posted it yesterday, and it's about standing in your power. Definitely check it out, because I do have some advice offered for maintaining that for yourself. I do believe that it could be helpful for you to watch, and definitely stay true to yourself. Stay within. Other people don't always. Sometimes they can have advice, but when you are asking other people what they think you should do too much, sometimes that can also make you codependent on them. And that doesn't mean that you're a codependent person, right? But sometimes it can create something that we don't necessarily need or desire, and it could make us think that we need a person and what they have to say a little more than we should. And, when you start to stand in your own power and authenticity, you do take advice. It's not about not taking advice from other people, but it's knowing when it's good for you and when it isn't. And it's not thinking that that one person and everything that they have to say is what's best for you or what you should be listening to or what you should be doing. It's okay to look up to people. It's okay to admire people and what they're doing. And it's okay to want to aspire to be similar to other people, right? Because we bounce off of each other. We get inspiration. We get ideas. We share stories and stuff like that with each other. But it's still there's still a fine line between doing that and maybe copying. I don't really want to say copying, but being dependent, reliant on them to give you what you need. And yes, sometimes people will absolutely give you what you need, and it's okay to take that. But it's also important to use your discernment and only take what you need. And knowing if it's something that you need or if it's something that they need, because again with this codependent stuff, sometimes when a person realizes that they may be uh I don't know another word for it, maybe they have a sense of superiority or authority over you in a subject, right? And you know it and they know it too, and sometimes maybe not even consciously, but subconsciously, they may tell you things or kind of string you along. Um, and they may not be doing it on purpose. It may just be something that just kind of happens without them even realizing it. But they do that to keep you kind of hanging on because they want to feel needed too. They want to feel like they're doing something. And sometimes people have some kind of I think it's hubris, um, and it's from the ego, and sometimes they do that, and it, you know, again, it's not to be upset about. It's nothing to be upset about because we're all on a learning journey, right? And it's very important for us to be peaceful with people and compassionate, and even if things do happen that way, because everyone has their own lessons, their own journey, and we are all here to learn. Because Earth is a school, right? We came here to learn things and to guide each other and guide ourselves, and it's an experience. And the more you start to see it like that, the less you will be compelled or quick to anger or resentment or greed, um, fear, hatred. Those are all things that the more you start to be more compassionate and understanding and try to learn how to step more into other people's shoes and see why they do the things that they do and why they say the things that they say, start to realize a lot of the time they are themselves in pain. They might have some things going on that they had nothing to do with you, but they may have this Nine of Swords energy for themselves, because we all find ourselves here sometimes, and we all find ourselves here sometimes. It's part of the learning journey. It's part of the process of being here. Um, and if you are noticing that someone, when they speak to you or share things with you, if they are in that energy, be compassionate towards them, because, a lot of the times people mean well, but it may not come across that way, or they may be dealing with their own things. And sometimes it does project into how they interact with the world. And it's important to be compassionate to people, because you never know what someone's going through. And when you learn to step into people's shoes, you start to see, like, wow, I see why they did that, right? I see why they talked to me like that. I see why they did that, because maybe they were betrayed in the past. Maybe they're trying to protect themselves. Maybe they're scared or worried because they're uncertain of what's going to happen in the future. Maybe they're scared of losing me. Maybe they are worried that I might not take them well, or it's something like that. And when you start to see it from that perspective, instead of having this victim complex where, oh my God, the world's out to get me, everyone, they're doing this to me, they're coming at me, you have to you have to shed that. You got to drop that. Like, you got to stop being like that. Because listen, if somebody's doing that to you, A lot of the time, actually 100% of the time, they are struggling. Okay, they're struggling, they're hurt, they're in pain. And when people don't know how to deal with their own emotions, they haven't learned those lessons yet, they lash out at the world, and that's not your problem. It's not your problem. Don't take that on. Don't let them put that on you. Okay, don't take it in. Don't internalize it. Hey, someone is rude to me. Someone is giving me dirty looks or talking crazy to me. Guess what? I'm just going to let them sit with that. That's their problem to deal with. Okay, they don't need to get that out of me, right? And it's not for you to take on other people's problems, because when you start to have this victim complex, you're actually taking other people's projections and energy and internalizing it in yourself. And that's not productive. You're not helping them by doing that, because then they don't have to sit with it. Then they're going to keep going and doing all that stuff that's going around hurting people. And again, they may not always have bad intentions, because there are a lot of people in the world who are just in pain. They're in pain. They're lost. They're hurt. There are a lot of people in the world who are in this Nine of Swords energy, and this keeps coming up. And it's important to pull yourself away from this. You have the power. You have the magic. Everyone does, to get out of that and store. They can take those swords and alchemize them into wands, right? And then you have action, forward movement towards all the beautiful things that you want to achieve. And you can take those wands, you can take those swords, you can transform them into some beautiful wands and beautiful magic, and you can take that wind and all that beauty and all those ideas that you have. You can make yourself a horse, create a chariot, and just go for it. Go for what you want. Okay, it's all about alchemizing. You alchemize energy. You alchemize things so that you can fill your cup, because you can. Okay, and there's a lot of sun here. There's a lot of sun. There's a lot of action here, right? And the more you do that, the more things will start to have more structure, right? They'll start to have more structure. Things will come together better. Things will blossom beautifully. You'll start to water your own cups, your own stability, your own energy. The more you sit with yourself, and even when people might be trying to come with this fire at you, for whatever reason, right? You alchemize that into water. You alchemize that into blessings, to ideas, to inspiration. You alchemize anything that comes at you. You alchemize it to fill your own cup, create your own blessings, and see things grow and blossom into your structure, into your blessings, your stability, your pedestal. The only person who can put you on a pedestal is yourself. And when you start to do that, you'll attract other people who also do the same thing. And it's wonderful. Okay? You got to take action, because you can grow. It's all about alchemizing and taking this stormy energy, this swords energy. It's about taking it and alchemizing it, filling your own cup and alchemizing it. You take it and build it into a beautiful sun, right? And you can do that. You definitely can. There's a lot of alchemy here. There's a lot of magic. You have so much magic. You have so much ability to do what you want. And then, you can get to a place where you're just soaring. You're soaring over all the beauty you see, all the world, everything in the world, and all these birds and stuff. You start to take all this craziness, all this chaotic energy, and you start to build some structure with it. And they start just kind of chill and relax, and everybody starts relaxing. You start to attract different people, different situations, different things, and any kind of fire or flames they try to send your way, you're just alchemizing it into something else, something beneficial for you. And you know this. You definitely know this. And when you do that, you create your empire. You're taking all of that energy, you're turning it, alchemizing it into abundance, into renewal, into cleansing, into change, transformation. And then you create, wow, look at all this abundance you're creating. And you can do that. You're already doing that. You're already learning how to do that. So keep going. Keep going. You know what's best for you. Okay. It's your life. It's your life to live, not other people's. So trust yourself. You know. And I would say, if things seem difficult and all that, just know you're safe, you're protected, and it's all part of the journey of learning. Sometimes you have to take a blow, you have to take a fall, because that's how you learn. You learn from falling, you learn from getting hit, you learn from bumping into things. Um, um, if you never did, you wouldn't grow. Transformation isn't easy. Okay, it's not easy, and you know that. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Just know that the challenges you face, they're part of your growth. They're part of your ascension, and things will get easier. They definitely will. Alchemy is very important here. You learn, and you already know this, you're learning to transform energy, all of it, into something positive, getting out of that victim mindset, getting out of that fear energy, letting go of your anger. Because when you're in that kind of energy, it blocks your spiritual perception, it blocks your connection to yourself and the universe. And you know that. So you have to make sure that you are maintaining a space where you're letting go of transgressions set upon you. You're letting go of betrayals, past hurts, traumas, all that stuff. You have to take and transform that energy, create your own chariot, create your own abundance, fill your own cup. And you will start to see things get better. They will. They are blossoming. They're already starting to blossom. And you will come to a place where one day you're kind of just soaring over everything that you've created and all the growth that you've accomplished, all the work you've done on yourself and your life, and all the things that you've built. You will look back and you'll be like, wow, I really did that. I really did the work. I really changed. And it's a beautiful thing. You'll get there. So keep going. Okay. So that's my message for the day. And if you like the way that I read, if you're interested in getting a personal from me, definitely check the link to my website in my bio. Yeah, that's all I have for the day. So thank you if you've come to the end of this video, and blessed be.